go ahead and call Marshall County Fiscal Court, October 3rd, 2017. Correspondence, we don't have any guests, but correspondence, Marshall County Exceptional Center has got an invite. They quarterly invite everyone to an open house Sunday, October 15th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Exceptional Center. This is 198 Old Simpsonia Road. Please join us on Exceptional Sunday for fellowship, refreshments, the Exceptional Center individual performances, and live music by area gospel groups. There will be a cake, pie, and costume or custom furniture auction. If you need to call, please call 270-527-1327 if you have any questions or would like to donate a cake or a pie. We've got the forms. The jail has got a new hire. We'll make sure that we get the proper form filled out, but it's going to be Ryan Knopfsinger. He's going to be paid $12 an hour, effective September 27th of this year. Then MediaCom, they sent to advise us some channel changes. Your judge's executive on or around October 23rd, 2017. MediaCom will make the following changes to the TV channel lineup in your community. Channel Chiller TV, channel 196 is going to be dropped, and Olympic Channel 2750 is going to be added. So that'll be effective around October 23rd. Going to old business, approve the minutes for September 20th meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We've got the bids on the skid steer. Wendy, you want to?
Yeah, we ran it in the Tribune on Tuesday, September 26th. The bid notice stated Marshall County Fiscal Court will be accepting sealed bids for current model skid steer, minimum of 85 horsepower. Sealed bids shall be delivered to the County Judge Executive's office at 1101 Main Street, Benton, Kentucky, 42025 by 4 p.m. on October 2nd, 2017. Please write sealed bid on the outside of the envelope. For any questions, contact Wendy Greer at the Marshall County Road Department, 270-527-3173. We've got two bids. The first one is from Brandeis Equipment. They're bidding a Bobcat, 85 horsepower. They've got a total of $52,607.34. They've also got, let's see. Well, the total price is $66,942.31 with all of the stuff that meets the requirements. I'll have to look over that in a minute. The monthly lease payments for a 4-year lease would be $1,531.06 with a buyout option of $1 at the end of the lease. Then they gave prices on the equipment that we were surplus selling. The 95 D6 dozer, they have a bid of $28,002.02. The 2005 Cat skid steer, $11,502.02. The 88 Hyster roller, $3,002.02. This one is from Wayne Supply for a cat. It's for a 299 D2 loader, track loader. The sale price is $75,080. And then they have looks like the 48-month lease would be $1,053.91 would be the payment, with a balloon buyout of $32,400. He's included a trade-in value of $44,300 for the skid steer and the D6 dozer. Or he's got it listed separately for a buyout value of, for the dozer would be $13,300, for the skid steer, and then the dozer is $31,000. Yeah, or you can buy it for trade-in for $30,780.
Say that last number again.
$30,780. He's also got a buyout value at the end of $1, and he's got the monthly payments at $694.77. That's if you use the trade-in towards it.
That's also a 4-year.
The only thing on the Caterpillar is we put in the specs, the minimum tipping load of 9,500 pounds. And I think theirs is, let me look here, it's just a few hundred pounds off of that. But it still doesn't meet the spec. It's 9,200.
Say that again.
It's 9,200 tipping load, and we put in the specs a minimum of 9,500.
What's the other one? Is it meted or exceeded or?
That was on the second bid you just opened.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 10,000. I don't see it listed on theirs. I'm pretty sure it was 10,000 and something, but I'll have to look it up on the machine we're bidding.
Is that the only two? We only had two bids, Wendy? Why don't we let you take time to go through all that and make sure that the specs are what you wanted. And I know I'd like to look at the details of dollars on some of these. We can move that to take action on the 17th, or
No, we can just
Want
come
to take
back in
action to do
just
it
a little bit
today?
if you want
All
to.
right.
I'll find it in a sec.
while she's looking at that, we'll come back to the surplus sale. We'll skip down to ordinance 2017-11 budget amendment.
You can't.
You're gonna do it?
Well, yeah, they just happen to include it in there.
Okay.
So we've
If-
got,
If you're gonna do it, then we can go ahead with the surplus sale.
okay. Marshall County Tribune Courier, September 26, 2017. Ad was run for Marshall County Fiscal Court will be accepting sealed bids for surplus property at the Marshall County Road Department. Sealed bids shall be delivered to the County Judge Executive's office at 1101 Main Street, Benton, Kentucky 42025 by 4 o'clock p.m. on October 2nd, 2017. Please write sealed bid on the outside of the envelope. For a list of items, contact Wendy Greer at the Marshall County Road Department, 270-527-3173. The Marshall County Fiscal Court reserves the right to reject any and all bids. This one is from Rick Castleberry, received October 2nd at 8:45 a.m. Bid price for two items. One was for scrap metal pile, $300. Dumpster of aluminum, $250. This one was from Tim Childs, received October 2nd at 7:03 a.m. Bid price for items, firearm cabinets, two, $53. Steel pole post hole digger, $102. 10 fire extinguishers, $10. 3 office chairs, $15. Dumpster of aluminum, $110. And that's it. Next one, sealed bids, written on the outside, received October 2nd at 6:30 a.m. This is from Shane Watkins. Steel post hole digger, $43.75. Strobe lights, 1 box, $2. 10 fire extinguishers, $3. 2 gas nozzles and meter, $12.25. 3 office chairs, $3. Dumpster of aluminum, $52.02. 2 floodlights, $2. And the 1988 Heister roller, $204.75. Next one was received on September 28th at 1:15 p.m. This is from, is that Jason Oakley? I think it says Jason Oakley.
No, it's Jacob Denfield.
Glad I asked. It's from Jacob Denfit. Tapered roller bearings, 1 box, $10. 10 fire extinguishers, $20. Barrel pump, $5. Assortment of tractor parts, 1 box, $10. Goodman AC unit, $300. Dumpster of aluminum, $100. 1996 F-250 pickup, $200. 203 Ford F-250 Super Duty, $400. This is received October 2nd at 3:08 p.m. This is from John Polk, care of Landworks Group. Bid price for 2003 Ford F-250 Super Duty, $500. 1995 Dozer D6H, $20,100. 1988 Hyster roller, $501. And the 2002 Cat 2257B skid steer, $7,600. And one more received October 2nd, 2017, just for the 1995 Dozer D6H. It's from Greer Excavating Service. Bid 1995 DH Dozer, bid price $15,000. That's the last one. Yeah.
While they're looking at that, let's go ahead and get the budget ordinance, do the second reading on it. 2017-11.
Desiree, did we get the signed copy back from the state yet? Jeff, if we haven't gotten the the signed copy from DLG yet, can we still go ahead with our second reading? It just doesn't take effect until they sign?
Of the final signed copy of the agreement?
Of the ordinance, after DLG has to sign off on a budget amendment.
They review their budget resolutions.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you don't need the ordinance unless you got a signed agreement.
We should wait, okay.
We don't have that.
Okay.
All right.
Pass it to a specific date.
Next court meeting.
We can move on to ordinance 2017-12, Industrial Development Authority, second reading. You got that, Jeff? Do you want to do that? Read that.
Which one's that?
The
2017-12.
Industrial Development Authority. Ordinance.
Do you want to read it, Jason?
This one? There you go. I guess that's it.
That's my budget amendment.
Oh, which one you talking about?
There it is.
Oh, it's under there. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay, this is an ordinance creating the Marsh County Industrial Development Authority, whereas KRS 154.50 provides that a local government may, by legislative act, create an industrial development authority to help promote and stimulate industry and commerce within its community. Whereas the Marsh County Fiscal Court does wish to take advantage of this statutory authority and have therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marsh County as follows. Section 1. There is hereby created and established the Marsh County Industrial Development Authority Board. The board shall be vested with all the powers and duties as provided by KRS Chapter 154.50 or other applicable state law. Section 2, the board shall be comprised of 7 members appointed by the judge executive as provided by law. Members shall serve for 4-year terms with initial appointments as follows. 2 members shall be appointed for initial term of 2 years, 2 members shall be appointed for initial term of 3 years, and 3 members shall be appointed for an initial term of 4 years. Section 3, the board shall meet not less than once every other month, but as often as necessary to carry out the powers and duties of KRS Chapter 154.50. At the board's initial meeting, the board shall designate a regular place and time for when and where meetings shall be held, and shall comply with KRS 154.50-336 by electing officers as required by that provision. The board is also empowered to enact bylaws as deemed necessary. The board shall be subject to Kentucky's open meetings and open records laws.
Thank you. Y'all got any questions on that? Josh, do you want to advise how this would help with? Do you want to advise on this Industrial Development Authority Board?
Yeah,
Authority?
so, right now, as far as the fiscal court and the county is concerned, there's not a county industrial development authority. We do have, of course, the Benton City County Industrial Authority, which is an interlocal agreement partnership between the city of Benton and the county. We also have the Marshall County Calvert City Riverport Authority, which is an interlocal agreement and a special district created with representatives from the city of Calvert and the fiscal court. What we don't have is just that county entity, which would allow, that authority to work in conjunction with the fiscal court on industrial development projects. So, in other words, Judge, if you had a project outside of the scope of those city limits, you'd want to have the avenue there to utilize, resources available, which is really, that's really the gist of creating a county industrial development authority. So.
The benefit of having this available to the fiscal court is there's anticipated dollars that may be coming into the county, and I think that those dollars need to be maintained by a board that is appointed by the fiscal court over those dollars.
Yeah, I think from an organizational standpoint, this is a really good move moving forward, and this is something that would stay in place for years to come, so that there is an avenue for any kind of funding that would come, via grants or other organizations that could funnel through that industrial development authority.
Without this, then those monies either go into the general fund or those monies go into a board that basically is partnered with other government agencies that we don't have any control over with those members of that board. Appreciate it, Josh. Thank you. Do y'all have any questions? Is there a motion to move forward on this?
Motion to approve the ordinance, Judge.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, ready for me?
Yes.
All right, on the surplus items, Tim Childs won the bid of $53 on the filing cabinets. The steel post hole digger, Tim Childs also got that at $102. The tapered roller bearings, Jacob Denphip got at $10. Strobe lights, Shane Watkins, $2. Fire extinguishers, Jacob Denphip, $20. The gas nozzles and meter, Shane Watkins at $12.25. The barrel pump, Jacob Denphip at $5. The assortment of tractor parts was $10, Jacob Denphip. Office chairs was Tim Childs at $15. The Goodman air conditioning unit was Jacob Denphip for $300. The scrap metal, Rick Castleberry bid 300, and I think we can get more than that out of it, taking it off, if y'all want to do that, and turn that bid down. We've got a lot of scrap out there. It should be a few $1,000s, I would think. Then the dumpster of aluminum, Rick Castleberry, $250. Floodlights, Shane Watkins, $2. The 96 F-250, Jacob Denphip, $200. The 03 Ford F-250, John Polk, $500. And then on the dozer, we'd be better off doing Brandeis, the buyout of $28,002.02. And the same thing on the skid steer, the 2005 skid steer, their buyout value is $11,502.02. And then on the roller, it's $3,002.02 on it. And they do meet the specs, and their tipping, the minimum tipping load is 10,465. So I recommend that we go with the Bobcat brand through Brandeis.
That's the only responsive bid, isn't it?
Yes.
The other one didn't meet the specs.
Right.
And it was the lowest also. Move that on the advice of the road department superintendent, we go with the lowest and only responsive bid.
Is there a second?
Are we going to just buy that outright with the trade-ins, or how are we gonna do that?
Let's see, they've got 66,942.31 as a total.
Right, and the lease payment, the monthly lease payment would be $1,531.06, and that's with a $1 buyout at the end of the 4-year term.
They would just pay us for that other equipment, or we can take it off the
Right,
purchase price?
they'd purchase it.
But
Would it,
take it off purchase price, we could purchase it all for, what,
I'm sure they
30,
would.
30,
would that change?
30,700,
how much?
30,780.
No, that
No,
was,
that was the other one.
that was the other one. That would be all these
That was
extra.
Wayne Supply.
Around 24,000. What was your numbers again?
No,
Yeah,
28,002.02, 11,502.02, 3,002.02.
That was my motion to purchase outright with, assuming that we can
and
subtract
Wasn't
those
that-
dollars.
total package price 66,932.21,
31.
31, yeah.
24,426.25.
I feel like I would second the outright purchase. I feel like that's the best deal.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Does that cover putting the others in on trade?
Three.
The Bobcat purchase, your motion included trading those three
Trading
pieces of
those in
equipment?
and
Buying
then purchase it
outright.
at 24,000, whatever.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Right, okay.
Move on to Rivercrest Engineering. This is their proposal for Oak Level Water System. I had spoke with Mayor Dotson and Rivercrest as far as moving forward on the Oak Level project. And this is their hourly proposal for the scope of the work. The two corridors that they identified last year, that's where the target's going to be at, to go out with Benton Water employees to look for the valves that are in those corridors to see if they need to be replaced. The goal is to identify them, see if they need to be replaced or repaired, and if so, do the actual work on that. The overall goal is to get water to the tower. And so this is their proposal moving forward on it. It's, total estimated fee is $13,975. And everybody is on board in moving this forward. Is there any questions on it?
There is going to be Benton City employees involved, and that's all been agreed upon.
Yep.
In writing and stuff.
They're going to dedicate an employee outside of an emergency. If they have an emergency, obviously, they're going to send their employees to the emergency. But they're going to dedicate support for the engineers.
Yeah, if we're gonna be able to work with, if they're gonna work with Benton and get this straightened out, I'll move that we move forward with this project.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Under old business, the road department supervisor position, working with Wendy and Roy, they had put the employees that had stepped up to be observed as far as future supervisors, and it came down, really, it was a tough decision. Do you want to?
Yeah, it came down to 2 people, and we decided to go with Michael Taylor as the other supervisor. That's who I recommend.
As far as it being a tough decision, I know it was tough for him. Shane Watkins was right there. It came down to Shane and Michael, but the decision was to go with Michael. But
Move that we approve the recommendation.
second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, ordinance 2017-13, speed limit on Olive Hamlet Road, first reading.
This is the first reading. Commonwealth Kentucky County of Marshall speed limit ordinance number 2017-13, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Commonwealth Kentucky, in accordance with the provisions set forth in KRS 189.39058, and based upon the request of affected citizens, and then after review by the Marshall County Road Superintendent, the Marshall County Fiscal Court does hereby set the speed limit at 35 miles per hour for Olive Hamlet Road, located in Marshall County, Kentucky. And this is the first reading of that ordinance.
What is the present speed limit?
There isn't one on that road.
55 if it's not.
If there's not one, then it's 55?
Right.
Is that correct?
On that, I'll make the announcement. The second reading for that ordinance, 2713, will be on our October 17th meeting. So that's when we'll do the second reading on that. We'll move on to sanitation district number 2. I know Randy Green's here in Lindell Groves. Want to give some updates real quick. We'll throw some photos up there, and then I know they've got some things they want to show you. This district's come a long ways since February of 16, and it's mainly due to the personnel that are involved in making it happen.
Appreciate it, Judge, members of the court. I'm not gonna have a whole lot to say today, and anybody that knows me find that highly unusual. But Lindell's been doing the work. I'm gonna let him kind of tell you exactly where we're at and just give you an update. Something we've been waiting to see for a long time.
That's right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Court. Appreciate the time to update you on what's been going on out at Marshall County Sanitation District 2. I know we spent a lot of money. There's been a lot of hard work went on from lots of people, but I think we're there. This is some of the water that that come out of the effluent chamber this past week, the picture with the UV bulbs there, that picture came this morning. That trough is probably 18 inches deep, and you can see plumb to the bottom. The percent removal for the last 2 weeks has been up to permits. I've got some numbers here, and I'm not going to bore everybody with a lot of numbers, but I do want to show what's been going on here at the plant. On September the 6th, Jonathan Smith was hired in to enforce our fog ordinance. He started at the end of August. This is analysis from the lab. On September the 6th, we had, and we was just, the first week of September, we was just beginning to see a lot of difference on the amount of grease that was not coming into the plant. We started seeing difference in this result here on our removals. The E. coli numbers were still bad, but there was still quite a bit more to be done before we got there. It was 75% removal on our BODs. The permit says we need an 85% removal. Before September, they were a whole lot worse than 75%, believe me. The total suspended solids, the removal on the total suspended solids was 91%. So we done well there. Now on the E. coli, our numbers was way over, I'll say way over the limits on that. Now that was the first week of September. Now the second week of testing, our BOD's removals went to 95%. Our nitrogen, which our permit limit is 15 milligrams per liter, went to 0.49 milligrams per liter, which is just nothing. Our total suspended solids for that week was 75% removal. We was a little weak there. But our E. coli went down to 770, which is still high, but coming down. And then the third week of September, that week of sampling, I wanted to see what was coming into the plant as far as BODs. So I set up the sampler on Friday afternoon and pulled the sample on Monday morning. That gave me a 3-day sample. We had 240 pounds per day on BOD. The removal figured to be 98%. We put 4.9 pounds of BOD in the stream out of 240. So that was really good there. The total suspended solids, the removal on that was 98%. The ammonia nitrogen was, let me see, ammonia was 4.4 milligrams per liter. Our limit on that is 15. So we're really doing good. We're making strides. All 3 SBR tanks are living. That is a big plus. I've been fighting those things, and it boils down to the grease. I mean, that's what Draftonville's been fighting with for years, and we've got a handle on it. I've had a lot of help from Jonathan. I've got a young man helping me from the detention center. He's helped me so much. His name's Erskine Estes,
And he's taken a lot of the grunt work that I was having to do. And I'm tickled with the way things are going. I'm tickled with the effluent that we're releasing into the creek. It's so much better than what it was, and I think we're going to be in compliance. I've got the last 2 weeks of sampling I've not got back yet, so I feel real good about those samples as well. And I don't see it doing anything but getting better. So I just wanted to update the court and the taxpayers. You know, they need to know what's going on out there. And
When do you expect to get those results?
it takes them usually 2 weeks. They're usually two
So
weeks
anytime?
behind, yeah. So probably anytime.
Forward me those when you get them.
Sure will. Randy, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, one thing we didn't mention, the restaurants, once we got Jonathan out and started educating everybody, our commercial customers have really, really helped us a lot. We didn't know what kind of battle we was gonna have when we started this, and Jonathan approached, it's always not the message, it's the messenger sometimes, and his approach was, let me help you help us. And I've actually had business owners brag to me about Jonathan. They said, we thought he was gonna come hurt us, and man, we appreciate his help. So it's made a big difference. The restaurants are calling him now, wanting to know more information. What can we do? They've just never been taught, never been told. And it's just a matter of getting things going. I told Jonathan when he started, I said, if you can get this grease off of us, I'll give you 90 days. He did it in 45, so made a believer out of me. And I think your money's well spent there, as well as the other monies that we've spent. But I do want to thank publicly the restaurants and commercial businesses for working with us and letting us help. And it's just getting better all the time. So that's about all we got on that. I do have an issue. Is there any questions?
Yeah, before you go any further, I want to personally thank the both of you two for what you've done. Going back last year in February when Jeff and I went to Department of Water, and we were actually running the district out of our office, and seeing the condition that district was in to where we are today. It didn't take anybody up here to physically do it. We had to find people in the community to step up. So I want to personally thank the two of you for the hard work that you're doing, because I know there's a lot of hours. And I know, Linda, getting you Jonathan was a blessing, because you were working 2 districts. And each one of them are unique in themselves and very tasking. So for the people at home viewing this meeting that don't understand, because this is a part of our infrastructure that is unseen, we don't think about it, we don't realize how much of an impact our sanitation system has in our community, and then the environmental effects that it's caused. I know the residents across the street are definitely, I think some of them have actually even spoken to you about it. They're actually happy because they're starting to see the results of things being put in place and followed through. I know if I lived over there, I'd be extremely upset as well. So your work has been observed and acknowledged, and I just want to make sure that everybody understands who's responsible for making this happen. So thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Most welcome. Well, it takes everybody, but I believe at this point, if she don't buck or jump, I think we got her. I do believe we do.
Randy, is that the picture you showed me yesterday, the one
Yeah,
here on the
one on the
far left?
That's Sunday morning's effluent. The one in the center was taken this morning, and like you said, that's 18-inch deep water, and you can see the bottom. The first time I walked in there, I couldn't see the bulbs. I didn't know what was in there. So, all I've done is run my mouth, beg, borrow, and steal, and Lyndall's done all the work, but we're getting her anyway. There is one other issue, and Judge, I'm not sure how to approach this.
Yep, just
We have an employee issue that we need to discuss, and I don't know if it's your job or mine, but I assume that would go to an executive session.
we can, if we've got executive session on here, so we can go into executive session Do you want to stick around? We can go in, you can come in
That'd be fine.
and do it then.
That'd be
Yep.
fine. Is there any other questions?
Stay vigilant. It has to be an ongoing process.
Oh,
It
yeah.
can always go the other way anytime.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Move on, DRA grant request for reimbursement. That's going to be for District 1. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion to accept the request.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution and agreement, Reed Road. If you look at the resolution, I'll read this. The transportation director came to my office. We sat down and discussed funds that would be available. Mark Welsh, who's the district rep in our area, was also with us in that meeting. Reed Road, one of the things we did, we submitted a list, but District 2, and we'll get into that here in a little bit more, but District 2, as far as our roads in the county, has got the most roads that are classified as the worst. And so we were very thankful that we got some discretionary funds for Reed Road. But I'll read this resolution. Fiscal Court of Marshall County, resolution adopting and approving the execution of a memorandum of agreement between the Marshall County Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Highways, for in the amount of $132,195 for Reed Road. That's a County Road 1128. And be it resolved by the Fiscal Court that the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept the funds provided in said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all terms and conditions therein stated, and the judge executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreements as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, and the Fiscal Court Clerk of Marshall County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. Commonwealth of Kentucky, Marshall County, and that's Desiree. It's her certification. So the impact that that's going to have in District 2 is going to be a huge impact to get that road paved. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let me go back. Let's make sure, because I know we've kind of done this in the past. We kind of forget about our bids when we go off and review them and come back. But the surplus property, did we take action on the surplus property? I don't think we did. I think we identified who actually won the bids, but we
But I don't
didn't
think
take
there's a
action.
motion.
And I think in the motion, we should probably scratch the three that were in the bid for the skid steer, which is the dozer, the roller, and the skid steer itself.
Right.
So I guess it would be a motion to accept the items that were bid from the surplus as Wendy had directed,
We want to remove the metal.
removing the metal.
What about the aluminum?
Yeah, I'll let it go for that, but I think the
Okay.
metal, we've got a whole back lot full of metal, so I'm pretty sure it'll go more than what it
What do you
was
think
bid.
the difference, I had that question too about the metal. Are there any other things in there that you think that are worth a lot more than we got bids for?
I mean, we didn't get a bid on a lot of things, but no, I don't think we're gonna get any more than we did out of the other stuff.
Including the aluminum?
Yeah, I think that's probably, I don't think we'd get much more than that if we tried. We can if that's what y'all wanna do.
No, I just asking, I don't know. You just mentioned the the metal.
We just
and-
got a
and
whole
you're
lot of
talking
metal
about
back
10
there.
or
I know it'll
15
bring a
times
whole
as
lot
much.
more.
I think that metal went to 120 a ton yesterday at Gamble's.
Yeah.
I'll move then that we accept those bids that Wendy recommends, removing the metal and accepting the other bids.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Dale. Let's see, just to give y'all an update on Walton Lane, Mr. Johnson, who lives on Walton Lane, came and spoke to me. There's a section in front of his house that is in bad shape, and speaking with Wendy, we've gone out and looked at it, and what has been suggested is to basically take up the pavement in front of his residence and put down dense grade, and then that way it'd be easier for them to manage. So we just want to update you on what's going to take place there. Anybody got any questions on that?
Not only that section, the whole road's not in very good shape.
We've got it, it's on the hot mix list, is that right?
I think it's on, yeah, it's on the blacktop list, the hot mix list. But
But I think it's got
It's-
more issues than just to go out and,
Okay, well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I was wondering.
yeah.
yeah, where they've been coming in and out with heavy equipment and stuff, it's pushed the pavement up really bad. It's gonna all have to be took up and put more base down.
Okay, so that'll be the start, and if you gonna then pave it later, or we just gonna get it to gravel
The gravel
and leave it that way for the
for the meantime, yeah.
future? Okay,
Yeah. Because
That's-
it's got a lot of issues.
okay.
But just wanted to update you on that. We'll move on to projected hot mix. If you look, the way we've done the projected hot mix in the past, basically the monies were divided up between the three districts, and the judge executive had a list. And it may have worked over a period of time, but where we're at now, we went out, I had Wendy go out and do an assessment of the roads as far as the classifications, worst classification being 1. And if you look, District 2, by miles, you take the linear feet and the width of the roads, District 2 has got the worst roads in the county, with about 20 miles of roads that need to be, that are Class 1. And then District 1 is right behind it, with about 20 miles of roads that are classified as Class 1. What we did is we put together basically a 3-year plan to where we can get all 3 districts down to at least 3 to 5 miles of roads that need to be blacktopped. And it can actually be managed a lot better moving forward. We can send out, it's been some time since we've sent somebody out to look and do a road review of all the roads in the county. But we can start with a management or a manageable piece of road management with 4 miles in some cases. If you look at District 2, you can get down to 5.66 miles in 18, and then year 2019, you can get District 1 down to 3.01 miles of Class 1 roads. I think as of today, District 3 has 2-point-something miles of Class 1 roads. So there's an imbalance throughout the county as far as our roads. And this plan, by 2019, we can get all 3 districts basically down to a manageable road maintenance, and then we can move forward if we want to stay with the existing way of dividing the money out, because to do that off of this plan, you would have to dedicate all the monies to District 2 in 2018, and then all the monies in 2019 to District 1. And FEMA, I will still say that FEMA, once those monies are sent to us, we don't know when they're going to be sent to us, but when they are, those monies can be divided up to potentially even make the projected road miles in all three districts even less. So there may be even a possibility about 2019 that we can even have all three districts below 4 or 5 miles of road that are Class 1 roads in each district.
If I hear what I think I'm hearing, then our travels for an hour and 45 minutes on last Monday are off the board now?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah, the list that I gave you last court meeting,
That
That's not
you and
what
I
we're
went
gonna
out and
go
looked
by.
at for an hour and 45 minutes
Right.
last Monday?
yes.
Is that proposed off the table? Obviously, I object very loudly to that. That's my district, and there are roads that need attention there, and that's the district I represent, so I don't agree with that plan whatsoever.
Do you understand
Certainly do
the
understand.
fact that your district is less than 3 miles of roads? This is a very good plan because it gets all the county roads in a managed amount. I mean, you've got District 2 and District 1 that have close to 20 miles of road that are rated ones. The money's divided off of this list. We're paving classified roads as number 2. So this is a comprehensive plan that really gets our roads to a more managed level. I mean, just by looking at this, the way it's been done over time, you're looking at dividing the monies out. You get about 4 miles per district. And if you've got one district that's got 20 miles, as Class 2 roads drop down in the Class 1, 4 miles annually are never going to get 20 miles paved and caught up. So this is a plan where within 2 years, you can get all the roads in the county under at least 4 miles of roads in each district. That is manageable, and I think that's being good stewards of the taxpayers' money when we go out and pave roads. I think it's not a good process to where we are today. I mean, that's when we sat down with the transportation director. Reed Road is in District 2. District 2 has got some of the worst roads in the county. And I think as an elected official, I can't go to somebody else and say, well, your road is a Class 2, we're going to pave it and spend monies on it, when we've got somebody on the other parts of the county that have a Class 1 road that we're going to skip. The goal should be to get our roads in a managed level in a short amount of time. And I think Wendy's done a good job of putting this together that shows what we've been doing historically and where we're at now.
Apparently Wendy wasn't aware of that last Monday or whenever we went, and I asked her to go with me to look at the roads in the 3rd district. Wasn't aware of this plan, or I didn't hear if she was, that we talked about the 10 roads or so in the 3rd district as we looked at their classifications. Apparently she wasn't aware of the problem or the plan then.
Rick, I think you guys went out off of the old system.
Yeah, the list that I gave last court meeting, I just done it like we've always done it in the past. And that's what I gave out last court meeting for y'all to review, and that's the ones we went and looked at.
I
But
understand that.
after meeting with Judge, you know, we realized that some of the roads, like all of theirs was rated a 1. And I told you that day that I took you out that some of yours were 2s. You know, I have a harder time trying to find the worst roads in your district to pave, so that's
This-
why we come up with this plan.
And this is looking at the roads as they are. This isn't looking at it from a political position. It's not looking at it from a cost position. This is looking at our roads in this county, 0.7 tenths of a mile in District 1 compared to Class 1 roads that are going to be paved with $153,000. For me, it's hard to justify when I've got other 2 districts that have got 20-something miles of road miles, and 4 miles are going to be paved. We can continue doing it this way, and we're never going to catch up. There is an imbalance to where we are today. This is a very effective way to get all the roads in the county in a managed position. The thing is that what I'm hearing the argument is that the roads in your district, we're paving Class 2 roads. So there's good roads in that district, that part of the county. But there's other parts of the county that the roads are in bad shape. I mean, Walton Lane, that's a bad road. Those funds are coming out of the general funds. And they're starting on that here pretty soon. The other thing with these roads is that the road department has to plan ahead. They have to actually go out and prep these roads. So they got to go out and do the culvert work. They got to go out and they got to do the maintenance of the shoulders and everything before any pavement is put down. That starts here pretty soon. So they're ahead annually. That's why these decisions are being discussed today, because the list that we're paving now, that work that they've already done, it's already done. So they're getting ready to start next year's work this month.
Yeah, our mowers will be done mowing this month, and whenever they get done, that's when we start trimming back for the next paving list for the next year. So we'll start trimming the roads back and ditching and doing all that beforehand.
I typically, of course, I haven't ever had any problem finding Class 1 roads in my district, certainly, and then tried to do those as funds became available. I don't know, it just seemed like we could, rather than just keying on one district at a time, we could split those among the Class 1 roads. I certainly feel like that might be a better way of doing this, but anyway, that's my opinion.
Well, that's what's got us to where we are. If you take the monies and you split them.
Well, it's the same money.
It is, but if you look at the roads as far as Class 1, there's 0.7 tenths of a mile in District 3. In your district,
Understood.
you've got close to 20 miles of roads. So 153 annually is not going to ever get you caught up. Your district's never going to get
Oh,
caught
I
up.
understand. I'm just looking at this plan. I mean, there's roads in District 1 that you could just split that between, we might get them done as well, 2019.
You talking about District 2?
Yeah, District 2, between District 2 and District 1, if that's the plan to try to get those caught up, you could do. It'd be a half and half situation, and then do the other half of each one of those in 2019.
Yeah, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen
Yeah,
the other.
yeah,
I mean, for District 2 and District
Yeah, understood.
3 or 1. The way we looked at this is the linear feet, the amount of road in the county that are Class 1. And District 2 and District 1 have the most. And within a 2-year span, you can basically get all 3 districts, all of our roads in the county, to where they're being managed.
These 27 in my district, I hear from 7 or 8 of them weekly, just like Walking Lane. That's pitiful.
Well, and here's another thing, Bob, that we did. If you look, just so that you guys understand, if you look at the location of the roads, and that's why if you do a district, the contractor that's out there doing the work in the past, we just go down and we pick roads throughout the district, and they're all over the place. But if you look at the roads, the locations, like Cambridge Shore, there's 4 roads, and it's easier for the contractor to move his equipment to do those roads. And most of these roads are set up to where as they come in, they're going from one road and then immediately to another road. So it's less cost on them to move their equipment. It's easy for them to manage, which may be beneficial to us in our next bid cycle for hot mix. We might get a better competitive rate on the cost to where we get more money.
If that reflect that, then I don't disagree with that at
Sure.
all, if it'll reflect that.
Sure. So, I mean, when you look at this was not just thrown together. This was, I mean, it is what it is. The roads that need to be paved in the county, based off of how we've been doing it, within 2 years, we can get our roads to where the money's better to manage because we're gonna have Class 2s dropping down annually that are gonna be coming into Class 1s. And there's some commitment from the county. As you can see, there's about $16,000 annually next year that we can budget for, in addition to what we're projecting. And that's based off of the projected state funds that we receive. And then each district is different. You may have, like the Bryansburg-Tatumsville Road, it's such a long road that it could eat up one district's money. If you look at Dyke Road, for an example, just Bryansburg-Tatum Road to Highway 1422 is $170,000. Well, if you're splitting the monies, each district is getting about 150-something thousand. So now that road has to sit and wait for state funds to come in. And 259 is what we got from state funds. So 170,000 out of 259, you're basically paving one long linear road annually, to where if you take the money and you look at the roads as far as the needs, you can actually pave longer roads. I think this has got Dyke Road in, which is linear feet, 2,406, that's tons. The linear feet, 13,420 linear feet. And they vary because of the width. That's a 20 foot width road. So when you got the linear feet plus the width, I mean, some of these roads are costly. And I think Bryansburg-Tatumsville, we've been trying for 2 years to get that road paved. When I came into office, that was one of the first things that Wendy told me. And here's a plan where we can pave it next year. Is there any comments? I mean, this, Wendy, do you want to shed some light on this? You're the one that's out there doing the work.
I mean, I think it would be easier on our department also, just because, just like the paving crew, I mean, we go out and, cut all the trees back on the roads and ditch them, and that way we'd be kind of in one area at one time to get it all completed. I mean, I think it will work.
do y'all understand that you've got roads in the county? You got like 20 miles of roads. And the projected, the old system, you're looking at roughly 4 miles. It's gonna get paved in each one. And it still doesn't fix, the fact that you're gonna have like 15 to 16 miles of roads.
If we go
It
off
still
the
don't
old
get paid.
plan, that's what it will be. You all would each get around 4 to 5 miles of roads paved a year. Versus if we do it this way, we can knock them out and get it back down to where Doc's roads are right now, where you would kind of be equal in how many miles of bad roads you've got.
Here's the way we've done it. District 1, we just divide the money up and don't look into the details of it. District 1 is gonna get, with my list, because the judge's list on here, I told Wendy, Class 1 roads. Doesn't matter where, Class 1 roads that are highly traveled. Splitting the money, you're getting 3.4 miles in District 1. District 2, you're getting 2.7 miles. That's $157,000. You're getting 2.7 miles in District 2. In District 3, you've got 2 roads that are Class 1 that are 0.7 of a mile. With my list, there's 2 roads in District 2 and 1 in District 1. That puts District 1 at 4.1 miles and District 2 at 4.7 miles. And we looked at each district. District 2 has 20 miles of roads that are Class 1. District 1 is in the same condition. And District 3, we're paving Class 2 roads. And there is clearly an imbalance of how those monies, if we just look at dividing the monies between the districts, we're not looking at the actual problem of our roads. And this plan is actually looking at the problems in our county as far as our roads. Is there any comments?
Certainly part of the issue is, and it was at your request, and I didn't have any problem with it, and that we haven't actually put any general fund dollars into paving for about 2 cycles, if I'm not incorrect. And we're about to finally put some general fund dollars in this coming paving cycle, correct?
We're paving right now.
I understand.
Yeah, the list, you talking about the FEMA list?
With our state dollars.
The,
But with our county, at one point, we kept about $500,000 in the county budget. We haven't had that in there for.
those are the FEMA dollars.
Yes.
Yes, that list of roads, we're paving. She took those roads out. They're paving them right now.
Okay.
And that's what we're saying. If you look at this,
Already paved a few of them, but yeah, they're supposed to be back in October to finish the list.
if you look at this, let's say the FEMA monies hit annual year of 2018. Well, where you are projected, you may have, those monies can go to expedite this plan. So you might even have by annual year 2018, the roads down to where they're really manageable, to where going into 2019, you can get almost all 3 districts, depending on how much money comes in, you can get all 3 districts down to less than 2 miles or 3 miles that need to be paved.
Anyway, it's the same dollars either way, and it can be done, I think it could be done differently, but that's,
How so?
well, I mean, you could break it up and just keep it on Class 1 roads. I don't
you
think we've been
understand-
paving anything other than Class 1 roads, at least in my district.
We are paving Class 2 roads with these monies. These monies are divided for Class 1, but we're not paving Class 1.
Well, I'm not.
Right, but what I'm saying, in your district, it may be Class 1, and in Johnny's district, it may be Class 1, but when you look at the District 3, there's only 0.7 of a mile that are Class 1. If the monies are to be divided for Class 1 roads, We're not paving Class 1 roads with all the monies. And this plan gets us within about a 2-year, it's a 2-year plan to where we'll be paving Class 1 roads. If that's what the objective was with these, to split the monies. And I think that's the problem here, is that the monies are split, but we're not looking at the details of what roads are getting paved. And when you split these monies, your bigger roads, if you had to pave Tatumsville Highway, you'd have one road. And actually, you'd have to dip in. You couldn't pave it with general fund monies because it's $170,000. And it's a Class 1, and it's been a Class 1 since I came in the office. And then when you line up your Class 1s that are more than $153,000, then you have to depend on the state funds, which the state funds, we got 259 last year.
Prior to that, of course, and that's District 2 as well. I mean, I don't have any problem with paving the roads that need to be paved. I mean, we went through the process of getting additional funds, some extra funds, and was able to pave Morse Camp Road and Barge Island Road with additional state funds.
Right.
And that's what, at least I think we've been able to do.
Right, and that's
for
what we're
these
doing
longer
with
roads.
Reed Road too.
And we're gonna do Reed Road on that, which is good. But that's just another avenue.
Well, Reed Road was a request through discretionary funds.
Right.
I mean, that was a pitch from my office for District 2 because of how bad the Class 1 roads are, was Reed Road, and that's $133,000. If you take $133,000, that leaves you roughly $20,000. And I know she has to find roads within the $20,000 range. You're possibly paving 1 or 2 roads when you've got 20 miles. I mean, this is a good plan to get our roads in the county to where they can be managed. And the blessing is that when FEMA monies come in, whenever they come in, we don't know when they're going to come in, we don't know how much, but that can expedite this plan. It's just a smart plan. The way we've been doing it, it's not fixing the problem. And I'm okay. So we want to move forward with paving roughly the old system here. You guys want to use this one? And my opinion on this is splitting the monies is not fixing the problem. But we need to have action. In the form of a motion, gentlemen.
The only motion I'm prepared to make would be to table this until we can review it and look at it further.
They're getting ready to start. If we table anything, it puts the road department behind schedule. They are ready to go out and start. Their mowing season is getting ready to end. And they're getting ready to go into prep work for the roads. And these roads need to be identified.
We could have had this a little bit of explanation prior to, would have been.
Right, as of
It's-
last
it's-
Monday, when did we go out and look at these roads, Wendy?
I think it was Monday.
This past Monday, this plan wasn't in place, and the commissioners knew nothing about this plan, and I assume Wendy knew nothing about this plan. This past Monday, when she and I went for an hour and 45 minutes and looked and talked about the roads in the 3rd District and deciding where we're going to pave and so forth, so I agree with exactly what Bob said.
The problem with that, Rick, is you went out paving roads for certain people. And that came directly from you to the road superintendent. And if you look at.
That's
You can deny it.
That is,
But that's-
that is inaccurate information.
You
My
can deny
point
it.
is the
This
same
system
thing
that is in
Bob just
place-
said. We went out for an hour and 45 minutes, and Wendy wasn't in on this plan at the time, or she didn't indicate to me she was in on the plan, or we wasted an hour and 45 minutes for her time and my time on that trip, as I go out with the road superintendent every paving season to look at the same thing.
This has been going on since I come into office, looking at these roads. And this system here, sitting back and watching it, where we're at today is not the best system for the roads in this county. I mean, to present a plan to where we can get all the roads managed within 2 years, that's a good plan. And you think that this is, what this does is it upsets the traditional way that these roads used to get paved. But we're not paving Class 1 roads in its entirety. All these monies are not going to Class 1 roads. And to me, that's a problem. It's a problem for those residents that live in those districts that have a Class 1 road that they travel on, that their roads aren't getting paved. I mean, to me, it was simple. Identify the roads, identify the cost, and put a plan in place. And that's what we did.
I don't have any problem with you keying on Class 1 roads. But you can do it in any amount of the districts. I mean, if it's in if it's not proportional, I mean, I won't even have any problem. I don't have any problem doing roads in District 2.
Right,
But
but
there are
you're just
roads that are
saying
in
to
District
split
1 that are
the
just as
rated ones
bad.
between y'all two
Yeah,
for
I
each
mean,
year.
the road's just as bad in District 1. We're gonna wait, it's gonna be 18, then 19, and, what kind of shape are they gonna be in then?
Right.
At least if we would get a portion of them next year, a portion of them the next year.
And that takes action today. I mean, you want to table it. It takes action today so that they can get to work on these roads.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of roads. So, I mean, I know like Rick doesn't have any in it, but y'all both do. And I don't care to split it between each year if you want to do the plan differently. But that's all the rated #1 roads for y'all two.
I don't have any problem with the keying on #1 roads. That's what we always do.
I'm presenting a plan. We just need to make a decision. I mean, they've got to get to work. So is there a motion?
Bob, was your motion to table the issue?
I'll withdraw that motion. My motion would be to look at Class 1 roads and try to keep an even distribution of Class 1 roads in all the districts. If there's not any in 3, and if not any in 3, then there's not any in 3. That's good, that's a good thing. That, I would have no problem with that, but I don't want, our District 1 roads waiting till 19 when I know they're just almost, I mean, they're in the same kind of shape that District 2 roads are in.
You've got, and you're looking at it, you've got Samples Lane, which is 891 in length. You've got Ed Lampley Road, which is 773 in length. Those are your only two Class 1s that are actually highly traveled and have residents that live on those roads. And if you want to add those, that's fine. As my direction to the superintendent was Class 1 roads. At the end of the day, in 2 years, if we do it this way, identifying the roads, they will be in a better position at the road department, and we will at the county for funding to keep our roads maintained. Is that what you're saying, the Class 1 roads?
Class 1 roads.
Is there a second?
They distributed in all the districts.
Yes.
If there's not any in 3, there's not any in 3, but just to get some of them in
I
each
think there's 2
district.
roads in District 3. I'll have to
Okay.
look.
Yeah.
but-
That'd be fine. Get as many of them as you can and split it, and then do that in 18 and 19. I wouldn't have any
Yes.
problem with that. The plan would work just the same, you'd just have
Correct.
some in each district.
Correct.
That's my motion.
You need some of yours paved in 2018 instead of waiting till
Exactly,
19.
that's what I'm saying.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
On behalf of the voters and taxpayers in the third district, my vote is a loud no.
Motion carries. Appropriations transfer. Wendy, we'll get this list and work with the contractor to see if we can, and then we'll get that out to the commissioners.
Appropriation transfer, I'm asking to move from general fund reserves $5,000 into insurance administrator's expense to cover the anticipated overage that will come from that.
Motion to approve transfer.
Second,
In favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Intra-fund transfer.
I'm asking your permission to move $500,000 from occupational tax fund to the general fund.
motion to approve the move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Encumbrance report.
For the quarter ending September 30th, 2017, general fund had an encumbrance balance of $43,331.44. Road fund, $1,354.82, and the jail fund, $13,948.33, for a total encumbrance of $58,634.59.
Is there a motion?
Motion to accept the encumbrance report.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve payment of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills, Judge.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll need a motion to go in executive session for litigation
And personnel.
and personnel. Yes.
Motion to go in executive session for litigation and personnel issues.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll go ahead and call fiscal court back to order. Out of executive session, under personnel, heard the information as far as the operator of sanitation number 2, Wendell Grove, getting a pay increase from annually $40,000 to $45,000. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a, let's see, next fiscal court meeting will be October 17th. And again, we'll do the second reading of ordinance 2017-13. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.